The South African tourism industry cannot survive another lockdown. Since the beginning of the very first lockdown, the industry has suffered immense losses. It's now relying on the festive season for a much-needed boost. There are concerns, though, that restrictions may be tightened due to the fourth wave. Our reporter Nqobile Madlala is out and about, and she joins us now live to tell us a little bit more. Nqobile, who exactly have you spoken to in terms of, destinations of tourism here in Gauteng? How are they feeling about the possibility of being locked down again?
Well, Maseko, having spoken to the tourism industry itself, they're very clear that it cannot happen now. They're saying that the industry has suffered a lot of loss, and any form of restrictions at this moment will just make the situation even more severe. We do know that the industry already has suffered that blow once when we went to the red list, with some of the tourists having to cancel to come to South Africa, and as a result, now they are hugely dependent on the domestic market. So if there is any restriction, it will only exacerbate the problem that's already there. And that's what Judy was speaking to us about from the tourism industry, saying that there is a greater need to open the tourism industry and so forth. And therefore, the level 1 remains one of the areas that they are happy to stay in terms of restriction, in order to make sure that the industry does have some people traveling within the industry. But now I just want to bring in someone who is in the accommodation industry, and he knows best, of course, in terms of the impact this has played into their industry. Temba, I just want to understand, in terms of accommodation, this is the time where you'd normally get a lot of traffic from different provinces coming into Gauteng. How is it going so far?
So far, it's not as bad, but we've lost like at least 30% occupancy and revenue, right? And since now December is such a festive season, and it's like dominated by the curation of events, and even internationals actually come to South Africa for like multiple events. It's even blocking locals from even consuming now the products. And Gauteng is an in-transit region, so now there's no influx of tourists or traveling anymore. There's no traffic, so it is affecting us quite badly. We've had to now look at other ways of, actually accommodating the locals and meeting them halfway, as well as, kind of preparing the way forward for the internationals, may they do come back, in the time they do come back.
And I mean, you are also, we're going to be accepting a lot of international tourists. How has that been going since they weren't able to come to the country?
So around the last, announcement the president made, it was very actually exciting to hear that things are now back on the movement. Like internationals are booking. We've had at least about more than 10 agencies, make reservations with us, multiple groups for backpackers, tours and experiences. We've had to literally cancel all of those. One by one, they come per day. And that's the whole issue here. And as much as it is a strain, it's also a loss for us, because for hosting those people. So it's very sad. It's a sad time, but yeah, we're sticking in there.
Okay, quickly, Temba, what would you like the government to do at this point?
So, not only the government, but a word of advice to all tourism representatives and organizations is, let's curate more locally motivated products. What we've done personally is we've created a virtual immersion, skill development program for young people, where every entrepreneur and pioneer actually facilitates and teaches these students simple business administration skills from how they've approached their business.
Okay. Thank you very much. Well, that's Temba Goniwe. We are in one of the accommodation, they say, that is very busy at this time. This is where people normally used to host. And so more and more people would come in here to host things like baby showers, weddings, as well as all those events where you have more gatherings. But because of the restrictions, which is level 1 at this point, and people just fearing of Omicron, they're saying, Maseko, they're finding themselves not having as many people coming in, and also because of the events not booming as usual. As a result, they don't have as many people coming in, not as many traffics. Like she's saying, at this point they've had to cancel some of their tours.